Okay, so hello, you guys. This is the Pretty Coach Oracles here, and also the Pretty Coach. I don't know exactly where I'm going to put this video up, but I did want to come and talk about something that I noticed in the last few, really in the last few years, but there was just maybe two or three recent examples of this that I'm going to talk about that happened, and it kind of triggered something in me. So, just to hop right into the topic, first of all, I am coming off the top of my head. I don't really have a structure for this video. I just know that I kind of want to talk about it, at least on my channel. I have seen one other YouTuber discuss this. I believe her name is Lorena OG. She's actually got a pretty big following on YouTube as well. So the topic at hand is all these really big, notable YouTubers. Now, it's not a, it's, I don't know why I said all generalization, but basically, there are a few notable tarot card readers who have all of a sudden, and I don't want to say all of a sudden because it may not be all of a sudden. It just may seem that way to us. But there are some readers who have basically left tarot reading and they're saying that they look at tarot as only new age and they're now moving towards Jesus. And at first, the reason why I actually did not talk about this anytime sooner was because, I'm a person who actually came from the whole Jesus. And I can't even say that I came away from it because, to be quite honest, I still believe in Jesus. I absolutely believed that Christ was all about freedom and liberty and getting in touch with who you really are, at the core, what your spirit, what your purpose is, your soul is here to accomplish, and actually freeing yourself from the confines of religion. But most people who get taught about Jesus in church or any other kind of way, they gravitate and they only hold on to the doctrines that have literally been pushed for centuries about Jesus and things that have been taught about Christ. So most people don't even understand that Christ, if anybody, is like, I don't feel like he's the originator of the so-called new age movement, but I do feel like Christ was a radical in his time. And in the time frame that he was talking about, he talked a lot about going within and recognizing how much you are connected to source, right? So, but this is my belief and this is my understanding. But like I said, I'm a person who actually came out of Christianity. I came out of the so-called church. I've also went through Hebrew Israelite doctrine. I did identify, I'm not going to lie, I definitely identified, but I always knew that I was searching and seeking for truth. And I will not say that I ever felt like this is what it is and this is the end. This is the truth. I never felt like that for really any of the belief systems that I held. I just know that I'm like a pilgrim and I'm on a journey, right? So I will not lie, like when I came into, I wouldn't even say I'm new age. But that's how people categorize what I do when you look at tarot, when you are talking about crystals, when you're talking about the universe and how we're all one. People just see that as new age and that's just what they have labeled it. First of all, who came up with that damn title anyways? That's a whole nother, gigantic ass thing to tackle. But I just see myself as graduating and elevating to another level of my faith, of my own spirituality. And I was kind of scared about it at the time when I did come to this to this recollection or to this knowledge about, you know, tapping within, going within, and that's how you find a lot of your information about God and insight. This is how the fear of tarot and so-called the occult information and even utilizing our gifts that the universe has given a lot of us. You know, things like clairaudience, things like clairsentience, things like claircognizance, and all that type of stuff. You know, if you don't know those things, please take a moment, pause the video, right? Maybe jot down these words to the best of your spelling and check them out. Look into them. Oh, damn. I was going to say that on my website, I have some information about that, but I don't have my website up at this time. It's undergoing reconstruction. I'm rebranding. But if you are interested in receiving that information, I do have a packet that I put together. I do ask for a small fee for it, but it's not a lot. It's like, what, $5.55. And it does come from just research that I gathered myself within my time frame and in studying and researching. But it's not a totally original, but the way that it's put together, it is original. So long story short, whatever, it's not mandatory. I'm just throwing it out there. I think what I'm concerned about is, one, y'all, I can't lie, I'm triggered and I feel like something is going on. I feel like something is fraudulent about it. I feel that it's a gimmick. Or maybe like even those readers have even been pressured into that. And when I say pressure, it could just be financial. You know, it could just be, hey, we'll give you this amount of money to talk about this subject now, which is tragic because it's like the authenticity isn't there. But I'm not saying that that's what's happening. But y'all, in my spirit, I feel like there is an agenda going on. And I feel like the people who, the phrase I'm literally hearing is, who give in to the agenda, they'll be the people to do stuff like that. Like, oh, and I hate it because I think my problem with it now, not everyone demonized tarot. Not everyone has demonized, and when I say everyone, I'm meaning the people whose videos I was able to stomach and maybe kind of make it through. Excuse my eyes, y'all, they'll be all over the place. But whoever I was able to actually listen to all the way through, or who I have followed, and now it's led them on to that. All of them are not demonizing tarot, but some of them are. And I don't appreciate that. As a person who is a critic, I don't consider myself any labels anymore. But if I had to, for the sake of this video, I would say that I really don't like using labels no more. But I was a Christian. I was a Christian according to the doctrinal beliefs somewhat of the Christian faith. And that was honestly only because I grew up that way. It wasn't because it was like, it was a conscious choice that I made to continue in my youth. But then when I got older and I started doing a lot of things on my own, researching on my own, having my whole own spiritual experiences and awakenings, right? Then of course those things led me on my own journey. And so then it pulled me a little bit away from just identifying with really any religious doctrine or practice altogether. Even though I still went into different other religious doctrines, I would never just say, I mean, I said I was a Hebrew Israelite, but that was just because that was for the sake of people who must place labels. Hopefully that makes sense. I do find issue with those people who are somehow making tarot according to biblical principles or perceived biblical principles somehow wrong. To me, even reading the Bible could be easily put under the category of divination because you are seeking insight from a higher power. Your tool is a book. I hope someone's following. I hope that's making sense. So For somebody to talk about we tap into people's energy or we're looking at the future, okay, you do the same thing with the Bible. The Bible speaks of prophecies. The Bible is able to tell us about things before it happened. I still believe in the Bible, so I am in no way an enemy to the Bible, even though I know it was written or put together by menfolk, by people. I still can glean the wisdom and the knowledge from scripture. So I'm not knocking that either. But now, just the same, I see how I can literally glean from spirit, but my tools are the cards, and so I'm actually, I'll have, I'm sure I'll get over it, but I'm just saying, I don't like this, but people tend to do this. Like when they're making a switch from a doctrinal belief, a lot of times it's human nature to actually, once we make that switch, start to point out all the so-called errors, if you will, of something that we were just practicing. I did that before when I went over to the so-called, when I was learning more about the Hebrew Israelite faith. I was able to clearly talk about the doctrinal differences from Christianity. I was able to clearly talk about how, basically the Most High, or the Creator, created laws for us to abide by and follow for our benefit, right? For the most part, that was my understanding and my belief, and to a degree, it still is. However, I still do not agree with all doctrinal, right, dispositions of that faith, nor with Christianity. So thus I'm somewhere in this middle path, trying to extract truth from all of them. And I feel like I would respect these people, and not that they even care about my respect. They got millions of followers. I mean, thousands of followers, some millions, but I would say they have thousands of followers. They're getting that check cut by YouTube, being partners. So I'm pretty sure they're not concerned about me. This is just this is my 2 cents. I feel like I would respect these people more if they don't demonize something that they just came out of, and if they would more so be able to talk about the commonalities or the truths that have been found in all of them. Because I think that's the answer. Not this idea of saying, oh, I think tarot is witchcraft, or tarot is evil, or the Bible says that we're not supposed to look into the future. First of all, okay, the Bible does not say that. The Bible doesn't say that, especially since the Bible itself has so many futuristic verses and scriptures and chapters and shit. Can't be true. So what that tells me is that there's someone who has created a doctrine based off of things that maybe they've read and obviously misinterpreted, and then they've given it to us as if it's true. Now, I don't know why these people are saying that, tarot is bad now, or, maybe I'll have to go back and watch somebody's video all the way through, girl, or guy, but y'all, some of the stuff, it was like, it was hitting me immediately. I'm like, this is fraud. This is something about this is not right. To be honest, with the Most High, it's like, you could honestly have either no doctrinal beliefs and still be for God and with God, or you can have some of these doctrinal beliefs, or you could have gone through all these little sects and these divisions and stuff of faith, of the faith, so called. Because truthfully, all these people claim to serve God. But there are differences of opinion about what's important, differences of opinion on how to do it. But nevertheless, a lot of them claim to serve God. With tarot, honestly, you could be a part of any one of those and still utilize the tool of tarot. Because the truth of the matter, except for some people who were fraud in the beginning, maybe, or except for some people who, you get your meanings and understandings from the cards solely from what comes out of the book, or solely what, was traditionally taught. then maybe I can understand how this cannot be something that's real for you and you could just easily put that down. Not saying that a person like me, because I don't know how long I'm going to read tarot. I never knew how long I was going to read it when I feel that my spirit led me to tarot. But what I do know is the messages that I receive, they are not only because of the system of tarot. They come most oftentimes directly from spirit, which I've been dealing with spirit all my life. I've been hearing from spirit all my life. I've been a person who's received dreams, visions. I hear. Sometimes I just know information and I don't know how I know. Those are those gifts that I mentioned a little bit before. So, long story short, I think my point that I'm trying to make is I wouldn't believe anybody who says that they're not practicing tarot because they are going to Jesus. And this is just my personal opinion because I am still with Jesus. Like, I'm still with the Most High. I'm still with Christ. He's an ascended master as far as I'm concerned, or she for that matter. We don't know exactly or whatever, or because they're in the spirit, they're both. But the point I'm trying to make is anybody who talks about not utilizing tools supposedly of divination because of a newfound belief in Jesus or whatever messages, y'all, this is what I'll say. That is their convictions. And I don't want anyone to be made to feel like tools are evil inherently because they're not. What makes something evil or what makes something no longer good or right for someone to practice, and mind you, I said someone because it's a personal matter. This is not something that they, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I know that people will share, people are being led to share, maybe because folks are asking, hey, why are you not doing readings anymore? That makes sense for them to have to put this out there. But honestly, it's a personal situation. It's a personal choice, a personal decision, and no one should try to make tarot or really anything. I'm going to stick to tarot right now. Let me not do what I normally do. No one should make tarot, pendulums, crystals, a person's choice to consult with tarot. No one should make that evil. Period. Because it's a tool. No different from the computer. No different from our cell phones. And yet there are so many people today who say that they believe in the Most High. That technology, if for those who are familiar with the Apocrypha and you've done some extensive research into the Bible and all that kind of stuff, according to the Apocrypha, this technology that we now have and that we use that is literally integrated now into every part of our life, it was taught by the fallen angels. And the fallen angels, to a degree, were not in the best standing or not in good standing at all with the source, with God. So there are people who have taken that knowledge and made it seem like, oh, technology is bad. None of us should be a part of it. Remove yourself from technology because it is inherently evil because it came from angels who were not in right standing with God. Well, that's not totally accurate, in my opinion, and the way that my little mind works. It's, oh no, they were once with God. They had this knowledge, which means it existed for a purpose and for a reason. Now, if anything is bad, maybe they gave it to us before our time. Maybe they gave it to us and now it has been used for ill means. But technology itself is not inherently evil. And even to this day, we have people utilizing it for the advancement of mankind. And then you got people using it to pretty much harm us and to take us to hurt, and to put negative energy out there. So with all things, I have learned in this spiritual journey that everything is a black and white matter. Like when I say black and white, I mean there's a light and a shadow side to everything. There is duality. So there's a positive and there is a negative to everything. Even with the Bible or even with Christianity. Okay? That is a religion that has come out on top because of many different wars that were won, governments that were able to usurp current authorities or, dominate others, and they won. So now this becomes the doctrine and the faith that is pushed upon everyone. People are just regurgitating information instead of really truly researching. And I'm not saying that I know everything, because I definitely don't. I have not researched every religion. But what I do know is that all of us are searching. None of us know for sure. If anything, I would say we need to make a religion just to say, hey, I don't really know what's the absolute truth, but I do believe there's a higher power. And I do want to live my life in a way that I am helpful, I am useful to others, I am able to protect myself, and I can be, I would be willing to protect others or whatever. I don't know. Like, I want to be love. Love is the religion. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, it would be better if we all just admitted that we don't know and that we're all seeking. And that we really just move according to what feels fucking good for us. You move according to where you are, whatever level you're on, whatever stands out to you, whatever you're like, yeah, I can get with that. I can support that. That's some people. Others, I told y'all before at the top of this reading, and I'm about to cut this off because I'm going too long. All right. I feel that some of these people are literally being paid big money to change their views. Now, why would someone pay money? Beats the shit out of me. I feel as though tapping into your own self, being able to connect directly to source for yourself, that is frowned upon, and it always has been. I feel it's part of why Christ, for those who believe that he ever really existed, like I tend to, I feel like that's the number one reason why he was killed. It went against tradition. It went against the status quo. What? Making people understand that they too are God, that can get them up out of this matrix too fast. That can help them, realize who the fuck they are. And then we can't control them anymore. And then now that's a problem. Because we have to cipher their energy, or siphon, I don't know the right word or whatever. But we have to steal their energy in order to keep our fake ass existences going on. I'm just throwing it out there. Hopefully this resonated with someone. Please leave your comments below. All comments are welcome. Just as long as you're not derogatory, as long as you're not rude or mean and shit like that, then I don't care. Leave your comments. This is the Pretty Coach and the Pretty Coach Oracles. I am signing out. Like I said, guys, there are some things that are new. If you look in the description box and check out, there's going to be like a waiting list and things like that for personals. It's not like it's super long right now. Just check out in the description box where it says for personals and click on that link. It'll tell you about how to order your readings from now on with me, because I did take the website down. I'm trying to revamp and everything like that. But if you do want a personal, in between the readings that I will be putting up on my YouTube channel, then you can get it that way. Okay, so that's all I have to say for now. I've got some more content that I want to talk about. Yeah. If you are new to the channel and you like this topic and you want to hear more, leave some comments about some other things that you might want me to talk about or what have you. Like this video. And also, if you are new here and you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe. This is the Pretty Coach Oracles. I always be looking at myself, y'all. Forgive me. This is the Pretty Coach Oracles, and I am signing off. Bye.